Yes, hello beautiful people, and thank you so much for joining us here on Great Day Louisiana. I'm your host Malik Mingo. Look, we have a great show planned for you all today. This is the time of year when people often think about getting their homes in order, but this may not be your first time thinking about organization. If you have systems you've put in place and they aren't working, how do you go about fixing them? Well, today Victoria Tran, the owner of Sorted, is here to help us rethink our organizing in 2024. Welcome back, Victoria.
Thanks, Malik.
Thanks so much for being here, and I'm so glad we're having this conversation because I'm reflecting on my own life, honestly, for this segment, because I have put in some organization, systems in place for 2023. But I'm like, 2023, that was my first year doing it. I'm gonna do the same system in 2024 because I now know what I need to do in order to be better. But you don't necessarily subscribe to that idea. You really say to look at the signs before you really think about rethinking organization. What do you mean by that? What are the signs?
Yeah, so first I would evaluate, why didn't the system work last year? Was it too complicated? Did you have time?
I was lazy.
Did it fit with your lifestyle maybe? Really evaluate it and reflect on that. What changes can you make going forward, just like you said, for it to work?
It's so true. You all are seeing some of those signs. Really think about your own life as you're reading this. Is it reoccurring clutter? Was it difficult to maintain? All things that were a yes for me, for sure. And I'm curious now, one of your biggest tips when it comes to rethinking a system is to match your organization system with your lifestyle, your personality. What do you mean by that, and what does that look like?
Yeah, so organizing is not a one-size-fits-all system or routine. You really need to match your personality. So for example, if you need to see things in order to get them done, or if you forget about it if it's behind a closed cabinet, let's say your mail, you have a problem keeping up with your mail, your to-do, your action items, you do not want to put that in a cabinet. You're going to forget about it, you're going to not deal with it. So you need to have a space on the counter or in some exposed shelving so you can see it to trigger your mind to deal with it.
That is so true. You also suggest simplifying your system. What does that look like?
A lot of times, yes, especially in the new year, we create new organization systems and we overcomplicate it, and it's too hard to maintain. For example, if you want to organize your paperwork, you set up a very elaborate filing system. It may be beautiful, it may be labeled, it may be alphabetized, but when it's time to go file those papers, you're going to look at it and say, I don't have time, it's too hard right now. And so it's too complicated. You want to simplify it so you can maintain it every day.
And a lot of people, like myself, you're on social media, you see this cool organization hack that looks easy on social media, but then you try to put it in place in your own life and it does not match your lifestyle or your personality. Yes. So really think about that as we go into the new year. I gotta ask you this though, when it comes to implementing that new program, that new system that we just put in place because we've rethunk our organization systems, how do we maintain it?
Yes, so the one big advice I can give everyone, and I know it's going to ring true to everyone, is to be consistent.
I know.
It's just like a healthy lifestyle. You can't eat healthy and exercise one day a month and expect to meet your goals. You really can't. You want to do small, manageable tasks every day. Quick 5-minute tidy-ups every day is really going to make a bigger difference than doing a huge project every few months. It really will.
Yes, it is so true. Now, this rule that you have that I've already told you I'm trying to be better about in this new year, the 1 in, 1 out rule. Please explain that to everybody.
Yes, that's a system that works great for people, works great for me. And once you get in the routine, it's really going to work for you too.
I know, I'm trying. I have to be consistent. I have to be consistent.
Yeah, be consistent. So for example, with my kids' clothes, they are constantly growing. They're constantly getting gifts, constantly buying things, bringing new things in. So they each have 60 hangers. That's it. If they bring a new piece of clothing in, two new in, 2 out. So it's just really simple, and they do it on themselves now. So really, because if you keep bringing more in, your goals are not going to be met. Your closet's going to be cluttered. You won't be able to find things, and you're going to have to do a big overhaul again.
Yeah, and you have to organize more because you have more stuff, and that's not necessarily something we want to do in this new year. But say somebody is like, okay, I'm ready, 2024 is going to be my year, I'm ready to put an organization system in place. What's the easiest room to start doing that?
Yes, so rather than a room, I would really suggest just starting with one drawer, one cabinet, something that you can do in one night, maybe a couple of hours. Because if people have lofty goals, again, if it's too complicated and too hard, you're going to put it off. I don't have time today, I don't have time today. So maybe a bathroom drawer where your everyday skincare and morning routine, that's a great place to start. A junk drawer, something that you can finish in an hour or two is a really great place to start.
I can do it! And I believe in you too. We all can do it, you know? And when we think about the new system we set in place, right, how often should we revisit that, right? Like, okay, what worked for me in 2023 did not work. I've set in these new systems for 2024. When should I revisit that system?
Yeah, so you want to give it some time to work, you know, at least a couple of months. If it's not working by 4 to 6 months, I would say make a change. And rather than overhaul it completely, just make a small change. Sometimes small tweaks really make a big difference.
I'm trying, everybody. We're going to get it together, I promise. Victoria, thank you so much for being here. Oh, my plate's going to look so good. All thanks to you. And look, everybody, if you want help finding an organizational system that will work for your home, you can contact Victoria at Sorted. Log on to sortednola.com or give her a call at the number on your screen. Now, look,